Yamoache mwakwa ba Adom TV suni o hwen live baby a wo bia no na pay yamoache kwan strong so kra wo tie nka so asempa 94.7 FM. Inti se wo hwen wutie yen ye da se papa se memenda bia no wo gibre na wo twi dwumadie don hwiri mienu ye de esinko ya na fe ye twetwen komobidin e the chief Jerry Force dwumadie ye de free studios ha 355 Fanofa Street e wo kokomlemle enkran e na ye de ebrewo ene November bosomne de toso ensia ese kakra ya nimu a na ye kono ya mo bibia achimyo e mo bibia akwaba anapai enkoma eda pono so ehu hia pa esan se e won krabata bebre am gidi se e bewie no won so odi ewo mu no obetimi afade afri mu Nnawotwi ya na Ashesi University Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Baumia ekoma lecture Digitalization of our economy ya brofo kakraka titriti anapai ye bejibre ye dwumadie no achecheche mu afan de di kan no ye betwetwe nkomo one on one na fei brofo no ya papam na fei ye hunu de wo pa kire poten sabe me na o watch match chance so ote brofo no titriti say ya ye fa ba fu kwan so ama o man yesi kasem atimi agida ne nan so ho nkomo na ye ba betwetwe ma me enda me production team o ma bo adwuma papa Kofi Ampadu and the rest of the team me do ma sepa me bo amaba so o ma bo adwuma anapai opani a me ne be hye nkomo twetwe no ase the executive secretary to the vice president Ura Augustine Blay watnase mene no ebe hye nkomo twetwe no so pani oye IT guru pa eba na abaefo ne ma wo hwe fidie kura no a off air ne atwetwe nkomo a Ura Blay akwaba yo TV so yo what is it you have bokode
yami adom
office boko His Excellency the vice president
adom nim pa ebo nyina ho ye
the nyame ase well zoom straight into the conversation. One of the key words are yete Ebra, His Excellency the Vice President. One man lecture no the word interoperability. Ubechire yimu adekra ye. Na fe sa word ne beto ho no ano the opposition NDC HSA dwumadie bi a wo mo ehya ase empo ansa na wo befra bam wo mo make reference to Gibbs ne ne ka ho nyina enti no say MPP for ba na be kasa asim say Ghana na kura bi a ye nim ade e fe na aba efum fidie ni ade kura no a you don't have a point. We are not saying as somebody a key member of the vice president's team.
Yo, CJ, medasi. I mean, initiative for His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo and His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Muhammad Baumia. Omo ani se dihunu na ye di echire. Digitization vice president Emma speech on Tuesday no. Na as I said vice president echire in different projects ahodoa Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo the government in aye since 2017 no kan nyina bomo o man nyina hu vision is adi hu a president e woma Ghana inti say o bisa no mobile money interoperability Gibbs the dano Gibbs mo create no in 2007 under President Kufuor inti se ye pese kan se yen fan ko mfitia se ne yen hwemo mo sha se ye na yen bo o mo abasoa ne yen fan free mfitia se President Kufuor nya sa vision no set up Gift in 2007 so mo manage interoperability between banking systems and non-banking institutions anything ye share o mo share Gift ase and the Gibbs issue mo djuma na se no na ye se o mo bo ama banks and clearing so ochro checker from Stanchart na so the mobile or banking or Fidelity as so much bo money clear but nyame na hihye bibia in 2008 na MPP aban free NDC in NDC zoom gusu yo omodjuma fine but in 2017 Nana President His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo ba so okay say yen hwe sa interoperability no amema emfato ho bi so nim WhatsApp na SMS text me send SMS text bro or WhatsApp unsantimi nka because SMS message no any WhatsApp enkasa sounds na o send WhatsApp to Telegram and also the intimi nkasa it's a meme send bro obetimi akenkan no we be WhatsApp no wa send no WhatsApp no WhatsApp so akonyonko no WhatsApp so WhatsApp to WhatsApp there it's me SMS to SMS so it's me sa na tie kaneno inti tame ba pa so be kaya na boy NDC say no almost on babe I am partner on babe no more project be on babe so be sa interoperability no for the cost of about $1 billion.
Okay,
the vice president
but I'm saying they call figure the 1 billion ni mo adwuma ban na mo ba ban mo after 2007 2008 mo fra ban mo ba back adwuma ban na mo be hu say NDC aban no oye with regards sa interoperability
no mo nya hwe
really
the na wo ni say they wo say so say na me try say no so WhatsApp na me send message from SMS on sanka
yes
into mo obi a telcos no o won crofo mo to a bia o receive message no wa copy into ni WhatsApp mu no wa send message into me MTN na se me send sika abrewa me send kwa wo Vodafone me send ko MTN na omo wo fintech no account bi wo Vodafone omo ji sika no MTN no ma ko mo Vodafone account mu omo di amount. So it's not interoperable. So there's a step in the middle.
That was the state in 2017.
So it's not direct. Say MTN direct to you. There was a step. That's how the architecture was.
Okay.
When you're NDC MPP, where the architecture of technology, because there was really no direct leadership. I say you push telcos, fintechs, and banks, to join their hands to go around it, not fintechs, any telcos are in home. So, person send this sky free MTN ko Vodafone, send bra, me more MTN, na maji, na fintechs naji. No more discount, more discount for more fintech na accounts more over Vodafone, no more year for more account na come over Vodafone. Into under leadership of the president, say, okay, young the interoperable. The ban sana. So I'm sending messaging from WhatsApp to call SMS more on Sabeka. Who sending message from SMS to WhatsApp as well on Sabeka. So there is no longer a middle step. Who sending into a buy and say MTN Montanasi, all the telcos international, banks international, Eastwich international. Nenye sa interoperability no. Into a ban is how me send a scan abroad from MTN to Vodafone. I be call Gibbs or not Gibbs are sending. Into Gibbs I say traffic controller.
Okay.
This kind of
green light
so that is the interoperability.
Okay.
Okay. At the cost of 4.5 million.
Okay. But 4.5 million. Now say NDC for how much?
No, that's what they plan to do. I'll let them explain. By end of the year for $4.5 million.
Okay.
At the time the project was about $1 billion. So that is
4.5 billion. You say
1 billion versus 4.5 million.
Million. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Omoka said they were thinking about it. Of course, they were thinking about it. No more junior on some baby. Yeah. So interoperability. No more engage a third party. Yes. So we are not taking that away from them. The efficiency say are the cheaper cost to the state, and it's working. And I might say Ghana is at the leading edge of financial fintech industry. Okay. That's the story about money interoperability.
NDC MPP but say the link between digitalization and economic development. What is that link actually?
The link on the economic development at the core of it is productivity. Say we are a carpenter. Now we 2 tables. And I'm so why efficient in the tino. Or you require with my more tables.
Okay.
Instead of doing 2, no, it's what me about 10, 20 because when your tools be a bit more wow.
Okay.
Oh yeah, mason ultimately only 10 bricks an hour. And I'm say when we acquire better in tino. Now instead of laying 10 bricks an hour, ultimately 100 bricks an hour. About increasing productivity. Okay, in a boomer, it's you are transforming the economy. It increases the revenue. So on and so forth. In the digitization, a human being will be a woman. True, a human being a buying a woman. I say a buying to me more efficient. Now, if I say efficiency in a buying one, a team of bois or minor businesses, individuals. Let me give an example.
Yes.
Say, who call DVLA and also call port and as we engage you with any
passport office.
The passport office. Now, now for 4 hours, 5 hours. Or the only one say ube fill form, no the manual check and all cool. Would the sky buying? Ube fill form. Who could do 4 hours or 4 hours no? And go bet me the carpenter. Bet me the 10 or 20 more tables. Not if I can train. So in this that time no, so buying to me the digitization bar. Now instead of spending 4 hours at a place interactive government, now you spend only 30 minutes. Not 3.5 hours now on. What do you call you man? we're going to engage in more productive activities. In this and it's what you and president or the vice president digitization and abiding money and what or mine any business.
Okay. You can't tell for say wait me joining via Zoom link no we will get on the Zoom and then engage you. I feel WhatsApp line also so at the WhatsApp message fafa ho yebeje me na fe akenkan the amount and be a Zoom for no ebeba ho na fe WhatsApp for no so akenkan messages the amount. Orably I feel Yambra listening to the vice president.
Yes.
Or identify some shortcomings and sana mobabeba in the health sector, yes, in the address system and, yes, all that. Yamfa shortcomings, so not by community and Sabina Fayaba. Yamfa maybe the achievements that you guys are trumpeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in terms of infant-free health, Vice President or my infant will be was in 2002. 2002. Nani Papa Yare no here moja. Omuchini or tamala muchini tamale ehwe moja na omo anyabi. Papa na oda store na no omode where they store the blood bank no ni ho. By the time omu no be a blood bank na yi moja na papa anyame de. Okay. In the call Silicon Vice President a local IT companies call Silicon Valley in 2018. In the meetings in a zipline, penifone na ba na some be Vice President. No mu chere say Mr. Vice President, your solution ni the zipline drones plane could be a bar be a more muhia moja mundi bino plane bit ma fa moja no e dia call. But Vice President here so no was our personal experience on share mo be ante that me I didn't know or share in public in Tuesday. Nipa really. But to him, no, it was solving a solvable problem. Be on one case as a citizen in 2012 experience here. Into him say, and some in 2018, not Ghana for baby so they experience the same thing. I said, let's bring it to Ghana. Into about Ghana, what are we doing? So they say no, more 4 distribution centers across the country. You have back more Eastern region, Western, North, Ashanti, and Northeast. In none be honoma. Ni boarding. So person will cross sa in Luna. We have machines ni boarding. Untimi nya some machines no bebia. Ki say hospital, big hospitals no some machines ni wo. The already be to. Oh, infant say we make and I say echire. Na so mun ni some machine na etimi cross in Luna. Answer na benya drone dia fa ambulance mu na car a free Accra. Ako Kumasi, ako Yoso, abesi na kodru sehwe metwa no. Na me amfata na bibiesi. Enti the solution is say yemfa distribution centers in NCO. Ni yemfa those machines na timi krasa ndro no insist those distribution centers no. Moja nso se wo ye O negative. Sa moja na ho na pa. Na se uni moja ehia moja. Na se hospital hall moja ni ho. O make sure say my friend, ko hwehwe moja ni bibra ansana ya hwew. Uko hwe moja no na se bi ni ho a nyame amfata be nyame de sana vice president example ete.
Okay.
The person moja nso de enkura ho. Nti wo bebi a wo bia within that catchment area no se wo hia se drone na se wo bia kaw. Na se wo kaw to be very very dangerous. Yamfa sa serum na amount within the accepted limiter be nyame de. Inti de sa ndro no akogu zipline ho. Inti doctor no hwe no so hia se ndro no hia moja ni immediately. And once or the WhatsApp and or the platform that platform say me wo a chip compound and a district hospital me hia moja and I say drew immediately. Na machine afa drew no within 30 minutes in the draw.
And this has contributed to economic development.
It has contributed to obia ni papa eko adwuma carpenter or sorry oko adwuma bia or the sky ebe fie ehwe ne ma ehwe na busuafo oni pakro ka ba bia ne ma na busuafo no ho be kire. So the background so contributing to tax payment. The tax payment goes into the coffers of the state in terms of helping build roads and building hospitals.
Okay.
Saving these lives, saving those lives. The revenue generation of the country. You can say almost 100 flights a day.
Zipline flights.
Out of the 4 distribution centers, 100 in each center, about 400 flights a day. Every time the drone flies, it's a life that is being saved. It's a family being spared.
You are saying there are 100 flights from each station?
On average, yes.
On average, a day?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Yes, sir. So because of the wide adoption, it's a silent and vice president it's a soft infrastructure. This is a road where you're building, where you're but
for you walk in Crying, for instance, Obi argue say, oh, the man who said drone be nam we ma demo jako baby da for we who are in the cities.
Yeah, say Ghana nye only Accra. Nye wo cities nkwa na Ghana for. Omo in Nkrase, omo more voter region oti almost here almost taxes Ghana ma into buying a interventions as buying a green can who say the cornerstone of His Excellency Nana Danko Akufo-Addo policies no inclusiveness say be policies and I say programs are be cover obia and say Accra for nkwa and I say West North for nkwa but try to include everybody. In Accra, because you have the facilities, but now facilities, but now your Kwalebu, your big hospitals, but more actually, more walk out, Modebia, Munya, drone, more moja to a man or hospital. They will go to the rough roads, acquiring a moja to Mudra, Mujaniho, no more to Muja, no Mujaniho, Yamian Pata, no more baby. Almost a Ghana for Muhia intervention. These are intervention, the inclusiveness of government's policy.
One of the shortcomings may identify revenue generation.
Yes, sir.
And no, more the Ghana.gov platform, no, and I must say more the Sesaniama.
Yes.
Ghana.gov platform, platform very important.
Ghana.gov platform, should I say? Seutia. Buying services, so uhian birth certificate, uhian passport,
uhian
driver's license, any interaction with government. Na say u scan buying nipa e bi mo honoma scan omo mfa ento aban coffers mu na omo dia to na omo dia show bottom e bi honum sma in France DVL easy to explain DVL u ko draw obeto Goro Boys no mo jiska. In the citizens with Drew Hodman, Marjorie almost said, Omoni DVL directly, Ombe bread, Ombe waste your more time, because a fast Naira, Cobra, no more chase car, a premium to the Goro Boys. Now Goro Boys, any DVL deal. But Scano Muciano, and co a buying professional. All right. Inti a buying say, Yenfa digitization, computer near mano, Yenfa replace Goro Boys no. Your money more efficient. The ban is sana say we services are Ghana.gov platforms no. Share service now or share no. Tia honka DVL for and say a buying service for no say what you have for this service
for BB and now what you have for this.
Then they will reach out to you and say yensaka into bra on this day bra beji will serve the ohiano. So ban sana what remove Goro Boys na every hall. Into what we have seen in DVLA specifically. In 2016, just for a reference point, now more revenue about 98 million a year.
In 2016?
2016.
Okay.
2020, last year, 220 million. In 2021, as of August, there were about 186 million revenue. Adding or more remove Goro Boys nefru. In the premium nana do donate chairman Goro Boys and say omun chairbeam in the scanner quite scan Goro Boys omuji scanner say be omuji 500 and omuji 100 na ma buy na 400 na kompoto. To the bien so I buy ni panaji 100 na no the 80 action button no 20 am buying. But you say yeah you Goro Boys na free na who chase scanner directly into a buying coffers moon. Say 100 that 100 no be kwa buying ho. 400 na extra na who chairman Goro Boys don't chairman mo biom o de share den bottom. So because of that there's an increase in traffic. So if we be me directly to DVLA to now Omako receive services at Omuhiano. And until now, revenue na increase highly. So Ghana.gov is a platform to make it easy for citizens to receive service from government and then pay for the services.
Okay. Accessing Ghana.gov platform, say can I access this platform? Is that how it works? And also, so you need to be at a special location just for education purposes.
That's how it works. 3 interfaces.
Okay.
Internet on the web. ghana.gov.gh, and a mobile app on been launching by the end of the year. Now you want USSD for YAM for no, star 222 hash to have access to it. Sana a ghana.gov. But another thing the government coverage. Yeah, to do an easy instance. A bimu village. There's no network there, until Muntimi access that. But in addition to this digitization drive, there's also a strong push to increase the coverage, network coverage in the country. GIFEC or program BIA, the goal is that by 2023, 95% of the country will be covered. In the first term, Omontimi installed about 900 sites. They have 1,500 more sites to go to try to reach somewhat more covered country now, about 95%. So those sites are more installed. MTN, Vodafone, all the network can come on them as well.
But my figures in EBU as we speak. 900
sites installed, 1,500 more to go by the end of 2023.
Okay.
To increase coverage, network coverage by 95%. That's the information that GIFEC is working with.
Okay, so can say, how is the reach like out of 900? Maybe if identify some regions and districts how the coverage in because I'm going to follow up with another question.
So the coverage, what GIFEC does is say, region bia no more share, baby on betimi are connected. Say a line of sight. So what that's what network. So mutimi share baby on betimi and the next site on betimi do machine is
okay.
So we surveying depending on the project rollout. Like I said, this nation, region by region.
Okay.
They scatter it across as they keep expanding their reach. So they can speak to it specifically from as to which particular community or district is doing that.
Okay.
But I know, say, 900 sites the past for 4 years have been installed. They have 1,500.
Okay. Orably, are we not leaving certain people out? Maybe because you see, acquire bareful. Sebi, will be a watch up here. Sebi. One cool school da na oka ghana.gov okoye den ho kwan ba kura no be fa so ebi kura na internet kura nya adwuma e wo ho are we not leaving certain people behind?
The cornerstone of Nana Dankwa Akufo the president, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo the policies the inclusiveness. But we need say there are certain limitations. The coverage around the country everywhere in Ghana nationwide. But at the same time, we have limited resources. There is a certain principle in technology, is the 80-20 rule. Into all share the weight mark cover 80 now, you increase efficiency around the 80. Now what you use resources now what make it available to target the 20 to make it more easier and then meet their need. In the case you train all the coverage now, no, you will never get there. Start with the 80% now one. Make the mabrabum or more sitting or more interaction with government easier. Making resources available so that those agencies can then target or more need internet needs more money network needs. So now we can say okay, everyone say a more shed any network or but in Crawford they travel for 2 days to receive services. Add more resources there to make it easier for them. So it's all about the management of the economy and the efficient management of the resources of the country.
Ghana card play major role in Sankomoya because of speed. Mobile banking, mode enrolling for onto the Ghana card. I'm saying, if I'm right, the Vice President mentioned 15.7 million people so far.
Enrolled.
And I'm just saying you are planning to enroll more by 2022.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No.
The benefits we are going to getting from these Ghana cards, then we'll get into some specifics.
The first thing is to understand say, do more Ghana have no businesswomen, access to financial services is very important. In this banks anymore, who need identity, say ID ni yenimu papa, yenimu mame, yenimu free. Usually banks in person with this come out. And finance what you way, so we bow in chain. Also here 50,000 as loan. Now we need so on man.
Debbie.
And said, do na here scam so mudiga, only here scam or more business akoso. But they don't know them. Banks are more scam don't know them. So the first thing President can say, you're making sure they identify all the Ghanaian citizens. What the banks were doing is they used to voters' ID as a way of identifying them. But no had inherent risks because it's not really a secured way to identify people. If you buy say from no more loan 10,000, no more some with no buy from Kofi, no more loan 20,000, no more some with from Kwame. The balance and if about come for also multiple times no loan. Not just a scanner say the man a bit more or more legitimate no omunsanka and nam sa risk into banks no interest rate no e cost ro. Government says wo so no betua ebia ba ko gina de wo ntua nti ebe ma wo interest rate na cost ro in case say we ntua na do na cover nti we no ntimi ntua nti na banks na den e punish you. And I'm say mini identity nti aban say you make sure say obia benya Ghana card. As we speak, 15.7 billion people, Ghanaians have the Ghana card. And banks now are integrating the Ghana card into their system as we speak.
Okay.
So that by next year, no only banks in Kitahua or maybe say Ghana card way. It gives them the assurance that now in himself by loan now ultimately the sound with so then what nanka obetua and nam so be into amount interest rate across no afi banks no be hwe so metima amount interest rate na den
abaform. Okay.
Na afi you the phone team akonya loans a metima your own business ni nyina na eboa economy no.
Okay, from next year the vice president Amaya say Ghana card yi ebe dani e-passport eno kra no che say is going to be accepted in 197 countries.
Yeah.
And 44,000 airports.
Yes.
We are saying passport. How is it going to work?
The can SAT oh far plane baby unia ID. So far plane from Accra to Kumasi unia ID.
Yes.
And I'm say ye wo in Ghana Haintino. ID on budget to me driver's license on budget to Ghana card on budget to passport on budget to. What the people about on money to because people identify ID. That's within Ghana.
Yes.
Now, so who free Ghana and also free Nigeria within ECOWAS. Nigeria, Benin, Togo, Ghana, Mali, Ivory Coast, who free any ECOWAS country ever Ghana. Ube here passport. Moving from international port to any international port, we here passport. Unti for driver's license. Unti for BBI just a passport. Now so we need passport this is embassy or the embassy man laissez passer. Paper B. That's the only accepted document to move which means moving from one international airport to another. Now, Argentina almost say only passport. Because more international organization, ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, almost control protocol for verifying traveling document at international airports. And the passport now, or maybe a passport must meet that standard. So passport now meet that standard now. Untimin fanko international airport.
Okay.
Internet Ghana is a passport because old passport name meets that standard. No, the new passport is meeting that standard. Now Ghana card no is a requirement under our law. Say Ubianya Ghana card. It's also in compliance. Say within ECOWAS no in terms of economic integration. Say free movement, saying you're moving from any country to another. I say Ubianya card, a biometric card. And for us to meet our local Ghanaian requirement and ECOWAS requirement, I say Ubianya card. Sakad miba. Sakad I say a meet ICAO standard. Into a meet ICAO standard. Not the can say. I say DBB can. The can say. So what to me the encryption algorithm no ECOGUSA ICAO international database no more. Now Ghana card no meet standard now ultimately moving from one airport.
It makes it acceptable.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
And is this going to replace the hard passport now? It's
It's not going to. Vice President Chira has said the current international standard that does not allow for the passport to be replaced. What it does is say because a visa stamp, the standard has not reached the point of almost visa and
so card
also.
Okay.
So the standard today is the visa stamp into the passport.
And your best stamp or hard
visa passport.
Now the Ghana card no the account passport no.
Now
and that's what we are going to travel with.
Now Ghana card the reason why it is Vice President made that statement. Let me clarify. So America. Vice President can clearly say Ghanaians can travel from outside into Ghana. So who free Ghana, Eco America, who here visa. visas no say no it has to be in your passport. So be here or passport no until for Ghana card no enko. We be here now outside. Now say only passport. Now say o kwa koye laissez-passer. But instead of going for laissez-passer, if you have your Ghana card, you don't need the laissez-passer because your Ghana card now the machines na airport no bet me I can kind information on Ghana card. So
okay.
Into drone so swap a machine bet me can and I'm saying machine bet me can you are authorized to travel from outside into as a Ghanaian because we have visa.
Okay.
As a Ghanaian, we have visa to come into Ghana.
Okay.
Into your Ghana card no kwa suffice. Into say be more than mobile if I'm some baby there's an urgent need for some bag emergency some Ghana. Now if your passport no on passport naira because the passport and within 6 months, 6 months to coin. But in that inconvenience, no, if you have your Ghana card, you have to walk with the line. I train on the minimum just 6 months of our Ghana card through airport. Now I'm say yeah member of ICAO to swap here airport and say yes, we can recognize this document as a travel document. Besneko Uko Ghana.
Augustine Blay, the executive secretary to the vice president. Oh man, I wish we had enough time because now can say share Ghana Post GPS in the social because vice president say as we speak 7.5 million properties in Ghana and are registered. Tell us more about that. Okay.
So 7.5 million. You say it's a vice president can about Google. Okay. Until them say Uko Google Google. Also the Adom TV schema EBEAP.
Yeah.
If you say Google 8 Uncle Foka, so Omun try say Omun finding out addresses of the key areas in the country, no, on front of Omun machine. That's what Google is doing.
Okay.
You're free. They are paying people to do that. Now, so Quabridge who address, physical address. Example 125 Machine Drive, Fort Washington, Maryland. So address no what the address in Google just say or map sa address to geolocation first. Now for me this information meaning akoto Google.
Okay.
And therefore we share na Google because oh address we minimum no. Na baby a what map so nie into say which man navigate alcohol. That's what Google does.
Okay.
Into the end the IN say yen all the geolocation in Ghana. Now you identify 6.5 million property addresses in Ghana. Now you map on. And Google say, my main share them more. Near the sample data command Google. Google show my and say, yep. And they say, and it's a mutual.
But shouldn't it have been the other way around?
Which other way around?
The consultation with Google.
Yes.
Even before we kickstart our system in now. And yet. And second, any more edin kita ho ansa na ya bedu abechu sanko mo.
Well, me find me essentially. My village, my house, Google call. Me village, Google call. So we share Google map now. So we share. We crowd. We say a dying city here. But we share western of baby, and I say western region baby, and a northern region, and a OT, and a Volta region baby. Ye a bled.
Okay.
Because Google, Google.
Okay.
So we as Ghanaians, and I'm saying, under the leadership of the president, ID is important for the transformation of the economy. Address is important here for the transformation of the economy. They say, okay, let's do our ID, let's do our address, let's give it to Google because here and Google says, on
this Ghana Post GPS.
Well,
address system.
In the Ghana Post GPS, in terms of course, initially I have to check. I think it was about 4 million. I have to don't quote me. I have to go and check the exact numbers on there. So Ghana Post here, first to identify the 16 billion. I'll get back to you on the actual details. 16 billion, 5.5 meters square. Each 5.5 meters square of the country, no mine will be our unique identifier. Now, if you looking around the whole country, each property you identify the unique property address for that property. And the vice president can about 7.5 million. Now, if you are linking into the street name, street number, there are 2 plates. So as you speak, on every house or every property, teams are more fix it onto the property. Digital address. Now it's easier to now communicate. Just they said any
okay. Fact check, quick one. NC. On Vice President and someone can say Ghana is the first country in Africa and one of the few in the world to achieve this type of interoperability.
Yes, sir.
Yes. The fourth estate, and even Media Foundation for West Africa, one more fact check, we say Tanzania in Africa is supposed to be the first country. One more SSI interoperability, and I'm to say,
yeah, see the interoperability that we are talking about. Yeah, in Crawford, you are talking about telco to telco, telco to bank, bank to Eastwich, and having those the vast one called the triangle. Many do now me interoperability na. See the trust and make sure I say in the beginning.
Yes.
And yet the no. Yeah.
Okay, so you mean the scope?
And then I say, oh yeah, CJ. First no, unti French, unti English, unti Spanish. Just here ni tree. Inti ukwa sorry ya, so be interpreting now. So mu preach you French man, so be interpreting now. Inti the IN say no longer interpretation. Somehow in digitization I am always say uti French, to English, to Spanish, inti kasa uti. That is the core of the architecture of the mobile money interoperability. The other thing here is say omo nti omo asne omo the interpreter as you see omo nchen. Inti omo kasa no one interpret actual MTN one interpret Vodafone. Vodafone omo interpret MTN. Na I say interoperability. What in China also mutimi kasa omo ho. Ampa mutimi kasa omo ho because omo interpreter omo nchen. But the AI say yi interpreter is nephew. So much using the digitalization and the architecture is a wo as Gibbs no who now your interpreter MOBR.
Okay.
And that is the uniqueness of Ghana's architecture.
Okay.
And in Tanzania there no any Kenya there no any Nigeria there any there nyepe. After on baby do baby aye do no. But it's difficult to achieve because I say banks no some of the banks will lose revenue. Telcos will lose revenue because then finance say MTN now a lot of customers.
Yeah.
Now say me many won like asa easier. One shall be scale for me customers.
Yeah.
But me microphone omo sending ska omo me network mu a better profit from it.
Okay.
So it requires stakeholder consultation and understanding say omo vision.
Okay.
It's a difficult thing to do.
Mr. Blay,
yes.
CCTV cameras.
Yes.
Dodo was saying because we are getting contradicting figures. How many have you installed? Because Vice President said as of 2017, mobile no, not 800 CCTV cameras and an system no emo. As of 2021, you have 10,000 CCTV cameras. Is that correct?
Well, the Vice President says 10,000.
Yes.
Right. The information that for the preparation for the speech is what the Vice President kind of know. But they say who say, and yet the output, the number of cameras na can want them is the outcome. I didn't install cameras now. I say I didn't because the numbers of cameras you can install it but not achieve the outcome.
But you have to give us the correct figure.
Well,
of
I'll
the
get back to you.
The number of CCTV cameras we have.
Yes,
in the system.
The Vice President can say
before we even talk about the output.
the number of CCTV cameras in the Vice President's speech, he mentioned that 10,000 cameras have in addition to what existed before. Sana Vice President can.
Vice President.
The information he got before giving the speech is what he spoke about it. So that's what we'll go by.
Mr. Blay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Augustine Blay, the Executive Secretary to the Vice President. And Nnawotwi and Komono. Yaba, into me, we Zoom look at WhatsApp messages Nibia Abba, and then we jump into the next phase of Nnawotwi. Meeting the Chief Jerry Forson. Yaba is here. Yama kwa babio na Nnawotwi dwumadie and aguso a wo share Adom TV live and also on Asempa 94.7 FM na do afidie no ato ha. We already started having a very interesting conversation with Ora Augustine Blay, or your Executive Secretary, the Vice President. Onwe wi afi abejafo betrase na afi ya twetwe enkomo. Ora Osai Kwame Griffiths, Director in charge of IT for the NDC. Ono atnase sanso enchebia Kamaldeen Abdullahi, Deputy Communications Director for the NPP. Ono so atnase na fe yede nkomotwetwe no yede ahihye so mamwo zoom no stay with us. Mamwo zoom no so no stay with us. Yebeba mo ho enchebia na fe yakenkan WhatsApp messages no any Facebook comments na aba no ebi enso so ede amamo. Ragifit akwaba.
Bibi Aboko. You say actually to abani we internet say no ano. Before elections you were a very familiar face
because that time na register ni IT no.
Yeah.
Afi naja omo de digitization ni hwan asa beto dwa say. We gina ye kan.
Come on, didn't bet that say na. Yeah, cheche.
Enti na me enye nru ho say your friends say Dr. Bawumia na we economy me nye economics enti na me ntimi nkam.
But you see how the IT no e dey abepia economy no. Enti na say you have no choice but
to surface.
Yeah, that's a okay, Kamaldeen Abdullahi, Deputy Communication Director for the NPP. Come on, salamu alaikum.
Oh, alaikum salam.
Bibi Aboko. Na me adom ye ho.
Aboko de. Na me nua graphic to say.
Ishi ai na ti.
I say dey akọ IT. Na nye economy bio.
No.
Na me enye me nwanwa.
O people in that scope no.
Enye me nwanwa.
Say Dabi, ye nim Dr. Bawumia.
Me say enye me nwanwa. O kai say Supreme Court o mo ko ye. Omo share that pan the pen drive edema almost star witness. I say dinketia. Now so kodru honom. Pen drive wonu kwa wan hwe so. Ne or request here say yempe analog calculator man no punch.
About deal. Oh, no,
that was what he requested for. Then me wan say NDC for digitization ye kan wan say mo nti ase. Me nua Griffith nko na e obi a why computer science for NDC. Oh, no, he's the only person. How? No, so offend
come on.
Osan felu omo poto.
That will not be a fair comment. In the whole National Democratic Congress, Osan Kwame Griffith Nkwano ye computer literate.
Unim data market assembly. NDC e share that tenance e star witness say abato na ye ko ye CCN. No ye CCN no ye ko Supreme Court akwa church mu say ye CCN. Na so enyina nim say electronically e na compile elections results. Na e ko duru ho a o say the pen drive mame na me dey nim computer mu ntime say mo pe calculator mame na me punch na me nchire.
First of all,
if not Griffith
me
first of all, say uzi focus on the subject here ebeboa. Politicians asemna at that table so say ko ya na fe ya de na number bi so
yenye sha asem class but I'm describing to Ghanaians who you are because digitalization ya kan was mo ko sumaye mu nim ne ya kan because election results o kai say your friend say me no Steve Atubiga oh cry NDC. Also, you can set up a collation center like Binduri Internet Cafe and things you want to win election.
These are all distractions that politicians will deploy.
You see you.
When the subject on the table, almost a problem.
Okay, we'll go to the subject.
But young subject now. Very good. Mene Urabli Kasa, you were here.
Yes.
Now, on the issue of digitalization, or digitization of the economy as a party, I am 5 to 7 minutes. Niamu baby amudi bedru yi ementi momo feel say MPP aban no abeto aso e bia kwan bi so no you expect some sort of credit so we there and this is for the chance na abeto aso enti credit bi o hon ma ye ne NDC fo nyina na eche ehin na mo chance free ehin fa na mo de bedu yi
ye reach time say me kira wa hafu nyina na digitization one of the scholars are me picking womu literature on the internet, or say a digital economy is characterized by a digitization of many products and services and the use of internet and other networks to support economic activities. Traditional marketplace shifts to the virtual market, because it makes my point.
But I like the first part now already, you know. Yeah.
So the use of internet and other networks. In fact, there's another scholar in who is the lead networking instructor in CBT. I don't know, CBT Nuggets, what you want. It's a leading instructional company.
Yeah.
Jeremy Chira. So I don't know whether I've mentioned his product well. Or see, in our normal day-to-day life, what is a network? What does the network replace? And he goes ahead to say it replaces the roads. So we need to build roads to places because farmers need to transport their goods. We need, to build roads to places for commerce and what have you to take place. So these are the roads. That is what he said. The Vice President said on page 46, page 20, it's point number 46, businesses are now taking place via Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and what have you. I agree with him totally on that matter. But let me also place on record, say, under the leadership of President Mahama, the fiber backbone that enables these activities was built by him. 1,000 kilometers of rural fiber network was built by President Mahama. From Accra through Volta region, OT, through a friend said northern, northeast, all the way to Boku, was built by him. And to say telcos, no, they will not do this infrastructure because or the idea of Kokrobiswa. Now, say better taking 100 years and sign will reput the cost and some prepare profit, he won't do it. So government had to provide that infrastructure that will allow the rural folks, telcos, to plug in to provide efficient services for it. In fact, one time I was in my hometown when one of our organizers, we were that Bynum area, which is a very rural area. He had posted bushmeat on the status. So and then I quickly sent him a message. Oh, Charlie, I mean, from Montreal, can I send him? Also, me post to any 1 hour crowd will be here. You see, it is enabled by this network. And President Mahama, I don't know whether the MPP, they can tell us how many kilometers they have added. Nothing. They haven't added anything. Now, even within Greater Accra and Tema areas, we build a metro fiber network because the commercial activities are huge within a Greater Accra metropolis. 300 kilometers that would enable, Wi-Fi and ICT services within the Greater Accra. So it was built by President John Dramani Mahama before we left office. And that makes all this, into say NIA, sorry, that's what we call rural areas, register, because he needs connectivity to do instant issuance. That connectivity was created by somebody. Let me count here. Good. Let's talk about Gota. One man, a titrafo ya yaso magu national security mi a wo be kona Gota bo mo ha no mo de ya mensem no.
Na say muso ma penso na Gota o.
Let me tell you, we built 4G buy. 4G buy. We built 119 base stations across the country.
119?
Yes, base stations across the country. That will enable, your friends say, G2G, interactions, 24/7 internet, access to government institutions to enable them to be efficient. So, in fact, Ashanti had 23, Greater Accra, I have the distribution per.
Greater Accra was saying?
26.
26.
So,
do we have one close to us where we are now?
Well, I'm not sure.
Because I really want to.
I'm not sure exactly where but let me make this point. These are the infrastructure that enables the applications and the services that will run to create the digital economy that we are talking about. So for you to say, as for 8 years, we went to sleep. Now, within a year. But having talked about the network, let me also talk about one of the things and I agree with him. Page, point number 6, page 4. And if I may, it says data is the basic requirement for participation in a digital revolution. I agree with him.
That's true.
I agree with him. Well, let me indicate here, say, under the leadership of President Mahama, we built the biggest 3-tier data center in West Africa, the NITA data center. It has 600 rack space. Say one say woko a year we rack. Sa racks akesi no. Mako 600 na ho. To house data. The data that the vice president is saying, say, it is so important, which I agree with him. No? The largest 3-tier data center in West Africa was built by President Mahama.
The type of data, educators, a type of data being almost all.
Well, most of the e-services here, the servers and applications are running from over those data centers.
Okay, so service and applications.
Yes.
Okay.
So the data itself is there. The applications that people interact with, they are all being stored there. Because you see, in the normal scheme of things, because the vice president said data is so critical, I will say data about home. And in the standards of building data center, the recommendation is that about a minimum of 50 miles away, you have to create a disaster recovery center. A backup, more or less, backup the same computer, no my back in app, a pen drive, so no my to fear
an external hard drive.
And now me the way now. I just say, because see, now say computer crash and now so be crash human. Nature say data na day.
And you're right.
KUST will build an ultra modern backup data center on KU in Ashanti region.
Okay. So let me tell you. So the Ghanaian will ask, how was it able to develop the economy? Well, and then what can he? But whilst you think about that, my uncle come out in home. Now, I mean, having listened to the NPP paints the pictures. I said, "This is for man." But listening to Osei Kwame Griffiths, I remember, come out.
Yo, me that's it, me made a how ka cry a was a semimu and mammy and say at the papa be say any animal papa be say a buying any yen timamufuana I was saying na ye fuaso na ye sum na emoye esan say there is what we call global digital revolution. I say na and drift time fa honoma yanhwe ya na yaka achire there ha me wasem we nyina ne say question a wo bi say me say MPP for say NDC nyehwe NDC for so say there be yeso ye bibi yanhwe ya na de akodane NDC MPP na no betna ha me saka asem we menua we have what we call the fiscal infrastructure that you will provide to enhance digital revolution.
Absolutely.
Or digital back. That is there. Like he's referring to data centers, referring to backup centers, referring to service and all that. These are things you can feel. They're tangibles within the data revolution. What you say? Again, we have the soft infrastructure. And also, I will say a platform you create after you result, as a result, to be able to make sure, say, what you are digitizing. What I say? Internet, that e-pharmacy, e-governance, e-whatever. Now we are in the e-era, e-procurement, and all those things come up. What I say? Now, ye nim, na say ye nim as o mine, and Timmy Anka say ye build it on our capacity, ye one. Now ye the bedane, and I'm way, and away, and away by your son, way, yan ya will not get the conversation right. When you are Griffiths say, hey. Whatever he does within the IT world, everybody e-governance in Ghana no, ekobwa Ghana. Whatever me ameti hai, na se nyakopo mo menimdie, na se meye under the e-governance structure, everybody Ghana no, na ekobwa Ghana. Sanso na Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the vice president eno ono tina ha, opese nka all radical, and make a mockery of him say, we're moving from economists to IT, which in fact I found very weak because clearly when you talk economy and when you talk IT, difference being in this revolution. Okay. Someone can say, Mestre.
Come out.
Yes.
You admit, say for physical infrastructure, and no dear,
not only physical.
I have not just said say it's an admission to what he is saying. Okay, I have not. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that our conversation was say healthy. I mean, they say yeah, baha. Na me mo flyers no so me who say Franklin Kujo.
Obejo ni esi ya.
Who say other your friend say
Augustine Blake,
and some other person again, I think also. Now, you see, it's not for any reason. And I'm more panelist such people to discuss this matter because Ghana is supreme in this whole case. Yes. Now, we will not take it away, say, nanado mre, and our time, and I get Tima making sure, say, from 15.5 million people have actually been put on the Ghana ID card system. Under nanado. That's a fact. Let's not take away that. And no say nanado be president. And I heard say data here send me no no. Yeah, was say you nipa nyina ye who be biara Ghana. Omo mo yetimamfo, omo mo foreigners. Yeah, na ka say yenye national identification and try as much as possible say yeah the system bia ba obia be baso. Na sa card no so it's not again out of play to say under nanado and out of the 15 million people no yeah who say Ghana for nyina not only 4% of us na etua tax. We had tax population now, taxable population now. It was only 4%. But after ID card na ya integrity TIN number from GRA and from Register General na ediba no. Ya the integrity and who say
about 86% now.
Yeah, they are almost 86% people are taxable population people. Yeah, memeka 86% and yes, say omo no mutua taxes. But there are those we have identified say omo mutua taxa many ye. Just say that is also another good move. Under the nado na ne udama ubetima tam phone me say oh me passport crowd sorry and cause queue say open passport you go on the platform and apply and put everything there ochina na courier bi e the passport e the bro fie under Akufo-Addo asi it's under Akufo-Addo and our health insurance you don't need to go to any health insurance center. Now I for phone, now I renew health insurance, now I go hospital. Under Akufo-Addo, a fact. Again, under Akufo-Addo, Nnawotwi Yi say, "Ope, your friend is saying, driver's license, you don't need to rush to DVLA to queue. Goro boys, no, ya yini nyina free Inti obika economy. No, ka say ya move akwa IT aja economy. He doesn't see the link between IT and what we call the true economy of this country. And I'm saying that the digital revolution is good for Griffith, it's good for me, and it's good for you. Yeah, but now MPP and this year, we won't get it right. Governance is a continue. Okay. And my point is that I am not sitting here to say that MPP in Kwan, yes, I agree with him sometimes. When he says that the fiber optics and whatever, we come from far. Under President Kufuor, it started. You understand?
Yeah.
We had e-governance proponents pushing for it. The Buyer and the Mills and Mahama, we saw something on it. But trust me, for it to become softer, you say, I feel say, in fact, it is under us. Again, but I'm not saying that we are entirely claiming credit. Into Dr. Bawumia lecture, 1 year daje, Atmako printed to Hanuma. Read everywhere, baby. I know how Dr. Bawumia say NDC for NYH. He never said it in a way.
But of
read
course, no.
Jerry, don't do that. No, Jerry, don't. It's needless. Here I'm saying that nowhere did the Dr. Bawumia complain or say NDC NYH. He never said he won't go that petty. What he said was that admonition. Na digitalization na ye ka ho asem no emmo Ghana na Ghana enkokan. That's what Dr. Bawumia said. And I think that admonishment or the man and mabunu or the man the youth of this country, it is something that is good for all of us. Na ye say but na e reduce be bia to politics ya nhwe ya ye nye ni. And this is a very important conversation that of course will cut across and meaningful Ghanaians will adopt it and use it for us to help us. Now, they have a crack, medicine.
Yeah,
and he said, look at our population. People in our school. And many have not been able. Even young cry yako school no cry. Nipa any computer. Oh, so my point here is that yemma publicity. One Griffith sat down under the organization of NDC. Griffith and Kaimo Montia say IT is very critical. Samson na so under your organization as a political party, yen come on who say IT is critical. Now obedu baby no, obedu baby you be found wanting. I give you an example. Now no mekaye, I had a chance of traveling outside a little. Now me go to Canada. What happened was that at the airport, frankly speaking, Me I thought say me go share immigration, the normal immigration there I get my passport, ya stamp here I say. Obi am fi me. Me also obi a train the bag and no akogina machine bi we na machine it say. Obi a train the bag no the passport ato so no the na me so me hwe ma me na me say ma me so me dey ma me. Let me dey chi. Oya wi adam so oya adam hwe. Oya na me ya bibia me wie na me train me bag ko here. Straight me pie ya na e call luggage. Eyi. Police now be say me hwe. Obi am be say me hwe. Say machine now me dey me nsako see so me dey me passport see so me answer questions 1 or 2 no bia no. That is the immigration process. You understand?
Yeah.
And at that point, it has eliminated that human interface now. And ka ebia obi kura he when him say na wo ho fedo do or say we kura ma me hane kakra. And now he when him now say he say we black or say we do your black racism ma me. O mo eliminating the nyina fi ho. I suffered. Then finally Mestre say we should try as much as possible again to educate the masses. Omo asebi omo nim use ni abnormal. Yen chiro mo. Wo insurance na ene obet my phone Abdali *920 na wo say o insurance ewu ana say enwu ye no ni nyina eye dwuma say and then Nado all this thing is working. But we are saying we've done well. They have also done it, but let's move on and make sure digital revolution will take over Ghana.
Okay, Kamaldeen Abdullah is the Deputy National Communication Director of the NPP. Quick one.
No, responding for
except
I only told her to do politics.
Except the break, but just 2 minutes.
I didn't say it against you. Why are you responding?
Okay.
2 minutes. Not no break nimra.
Na cobra mum na menya.
Okay, mama cobra na me ma equal time.
To respond to
na me ma equal time. Man Kamaldeen Abdullah.
We have to put things in the right perspectives.
Mate.
Yeah, boy man. Do the co break brana 2 minutes answer man.
Yamako Ababio Nnawotwi Yi Esuni within the Chief Judge Force and UTA so Asempa 94.7 FM. We are having a very interesting conversation. Off air crano na argument you know Egusua air Koso Kamaldeen of the NPP, Osei Kwame Griffiths of the NDC. Osei Kwame, ma membra once and ebe konanka me bawo for response to Sembia Kamaldeen areas and then we are ebe certain specifics.
No problem at all. First of all, say Minyan Kasa no or can say there's nowhere the Vice President said, NDC by Yanyahe. If you go to page 11 of his speech, point number 23, he says that on coming into office, we moved quickly with the issuance of biometric ID cards, that is the Ghana card, to the population. The Ghana card project was initiated by President Kufuor, but abandoned for 8 years.
So that's a fact. That's specific on it. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
First of all, let me place on record here. And they did here saying,
Seth.
On the 15th of September 2017, the system that issued the first card for Nana Agbo Akufo-Addo, NPP didn't add even a pen drive to that system. Factory acceptance test for that system was done in December of 2016. As a fact.
No.
Let me repeat what I'm saying.
Repeat what you just said.
I'm saying the first card that was issued under this system, and
Ghana
it was
card.
Issued, yes, Ghana card. On the 15th of September 2017, the new patriotic government administration led by Nana Akufo-Addo didn't even add a pen drive to it before the system was issued.
Okay, but up to
the
date,
acceptance,
has there been some
said they have done enrollment. That is why they are very clever. They say, sir, we have enrolled. The system was inherited. Let's make that very clear. When we took office, we inherited the system from President Kufuor.
Yes.
A brilliant concept with all the necessary regulation, laws and what have you passed. The issue is that the brilliance of President Kufuor's administration was that he wanted a situation where we had a multifunctional card. And what does that mean? Card bako, and on NHI phobe yisu, and on DVL phobe yisu, and on a bank kramatagina, one more use ID card be an umbe yisu. So a multifunctional card. And 2, an integrated system. What does that mean? System 1, DVLA4, 8 me tap into, NHI4, 8 me tap into for their biometric needs. And every country in the world needs one civil biometric system. The only problem is that, and I really commend President Kufuor's effort in this matter. The time the system was set up, they picked only 4 fingers because that was what was trending in the world. That's number 1. Number 2, certain critical data needs or money. This is phone numbers, the old system, no, near phone numbers. And you know, the problem arose whereby NHI started doing their own biometric system. DVLA started doing their own biometric system. Passport started doing their own biometric system. All these AFI systems costing the average of about $60 million a piece. So, okay, so the year boreholes and Kagana year boreholes in our problem, gains no problem we are solving. But this was what was happening because the parent institution that was mandated to was deficient in a way in terms of data needs, their data needs. Now, the last AFIS that was procured was in 2014. Then Omampeni John Dramani Mahama, through the Chief of Staff, issued a moratorium on the 18th of June 2014 to put a ban on procurement on biometric system by government institutions. And also pointed NIA into correcting the deficiencies and moving towards a multifunctional card and an integrated system. And that was the beginning of everything. On our own, as technical people, now we had started this conversation. So we went through the system, the cards and everything was specified. This friend said enrollment systems were specified. That time we had a project already ongoing. We are also talking to other companies to engage them in that exercise. So the card specification was done by NIA, enrollment specification where we say per iris. I remember very well, I personally had a lot of grudge with a lot of the companies on the iris technology.
You were very instrumental around.
Yeah, of course, I designed the specifications with my team.
Oh, okay.
I was the head of biometrics and technology. So whatever they are saying, I wrote the specifications with my team.
Data center, it was an empty building.
No problem. No problem. And the enrollment system, specifications of enrollment system,
yes.
It was done and partly supplied. A verification machines done and partly supplied as under a contract called the additional equipment, which was $5.7 million. I'm not sure of the figure. There were some controversies around the central system, which we were moving towards a place where there will be no vendor lock-in. Nanka companies are who be me and I supply. So when you mention into machines be free they pick the same specifications, and supply to that into panana bona abafom. The central system acceptance took place, like I said, in December of 2016, before MPP took office. And when you say the previous administration abandoned friends say NIA for 8 years, then you are not being genuine. I mean, friends say you are not doing the country any good service. So and these are all the things that we have rather had, some of us, when we sit back and see the implementation of the system. Look, in the rush of the government to use it for as a sole reader document for the registration of at a point, card teacher test paper. Do you know what that means? If you understand the technology.
But I'm surprised you are seeing it as a rush, in the rush of the teacher card. Now, when you had 8 years, you started the very, very physical infrastructure, but when to me are implementing most of Saniemano. And one more day they are implementing some of these things. Now say it was in a rush.
But let me tell you what I mean, but in their rush. I didn't say they rushed it. I'm saying in their rush to meet that one, some can say Ghana card no voter ID registration and the passport also. We raised an issue, said the cards are not in the hands of people. You understand?
Yes.
The biometric card, the standards dictate says oh yeah biometric card my your card enu nie me ma enhwe photo no enhwe anim nam de amount yes I no to enable the services on the chip on the chip no
yes
me bana ma bo nsa no no ma ready card no there will be a match on card to show say okay wo ampa because now we are twin. Now, even crying, the identification alone is a problem. Then it enables the various keys because a multifunctional card, NHI for one segment. A friend say you may run e-health services, you may run all those things. You don't want insurance companies reading the internet. There's a card management system on the chip, a regulated side. That is when it is what enabled and activated for usage. So on the material. And all these things were skipped because of your friends saying.
That's not true.
That's true. That's true. They gave the cars out. I know.
That's not true.
Do you see some deficiency in the cards?
No, there's no deficiency. There's no deficiency. Let me make this very clear. I am saying that there are cards in the hands of people who have not been initiated as required by the technology.
Initiated as required.
So is there a deficiency on the card? That's the question.
No, listen.
It's not true.
Listen. I'm trying to be very careful because I'm a Ghanaian. So I look at a security aspect of things and you be me I put you out. So and also I don't want to undermine a credibility in certain aspects. But it will take. It is common knowledge.
You are IT expert.
Yes, that is why I'm careful. However, I'm not saying card is useless. I mean, it will require money to correct some of the mistakes they have made.
What are some of the mistakes on the card?
Very good, please.
I'm talking about the chip initialization. Say, your friends say, Ghana for be brave or what? One more shy and say, one more young for verification machine, Uncle Siho. Nayam or Monsano, and Sanya the card, mom. Yeah, the cards no go box Mukoy. Anna, you show a nimbo near the amount, which is wrong.
Wow.
And the reason why is that for the NIA to be able to distribute that many cards to meet the requirements, say, your friends say, I don't know, see a use for EC registration. They couldn't have deployed the equipment and therefore they took that step to meet that need. In my view, as a professional in the field, Jerry said it didn't really warrant that. I mean, there are other issues that we can talk about. I don't want to delve into that. I don't want to push the conversation to that angle.
It's very important. It's very important. We are getting education.
Yes.
It is a name obi kuta card nibi.
Yes.
Na okwakojeno ya mbone nsano ya verify the fingerprints are.
It means as at now the card has not been initiated. That process must occur before services can run on the card.
Wow.
On the chip. But don't forget to say the NIA card itself, has all 3 levels of verification features on it. In fact, what is by inspection, by basic instruments, and by biometric. Our card so it doesn't mean banks cannot use the card. It's still the most credible card out there. Let me make that point because I don't want to undermine, like I said, financial institutions must take comfort to say it is still the most credible card out there and the biggest database that we have in this country. But you see, the point I'm trying to make is that let us not make it look as if, say, in 2017, January of 2017, MPP are buying taking over. And September, they were issuing a first biometric card to the president to initiate the project. That is the reason why I've gone through this history.
Okay.
So I'll make it.
Okay.
Good. And that is the point I'm trying to make. And rather not delving into some of the issues.
Fine.
So
it's fine.
Jerry, a very important say. Teach you say your aspects in that area. Now you're careful kakra because certain comments will have umekia you'll be pinned to it to give further and better particulars. Jerry, ube kaya ye ba abremu no. The statement made by Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia is a fact. Say indeed, President Kufuor shall say on this NIA.
In NDC for abandoning.
Me say shall say on that project. Ye be baya ko see 2009 and NDC back power. 2009 to 2008, 8 good years. 8 good years. Not a single card emanated from NIA. For you to say under NDC, we are issuing one card, not one card. Only. So if Dr. Bawumia makes a comment, say, you abandoned the work or the process of getting data, getting Ghanaians to have that important card now.
Okay.
It's not out of place.
Was that
I don't want to sway this conversation. I want to tackle what he said. And I'm only trying to build on the factual statement of Dr. Bawumia.
Okay.
Say, indeed, 2009, running to 2016, not a single card, and I repeat, test card came from the NDC for 8 years. So for Dr. Bawumia to have said that you abandoned it, Odika. And it's right. It's factual. Now, fast forward to the comment he made. Or say, in a rush to get voters or people to go and register to vote, can say, Ghana card, you registration. Now, on na dream, and he personalized it. Office say, and the man say, you courage some for a card, edicot na, say, money issue. Now, a man go through the process
without
again.
having to verify fingerprints.
I know that.
Exactly.
When you are
That's
going, the main
That's the point he's making.
process, I was say, card. The first process you go through to get your card. So now you go through same process for issuance.
Are you sure?
To be done. That's what it is. I'm saying that is what it is. Again, did you an important question? What say as it stands now? Is he saying that
there's a deficiency?
Or no answer my walk say in the prayer, then it means that Uncle to come Kada and from so I was and not say Debbie. He said no, he's not saying that. Or say he gave an answer, emphatic answer. What you are asking him, no, it's not so. He's not saying that card no and you're deficient. But what he's saying is that there was a rush to issue cards. Look, issuance was done. And the NIA I know, I spoke to Ghanaian, the NIA I know, make sure that every single person issue card no, will go through same process again to make sure the card is indeed initiated. Where you have some peculiar problems, one or two, obviously it's a human institution, and obviously a machine, there could be some problems. But I'm saying that not a single card has been issued out. I am making sure, say, it has been properly initiated for you to receive your card. Me tell you, me call Nanton. Eko ye me ID card. Me up to now, as I said to you, omunye issue mame. Me beside ya, when say card ne more printy. Now I need to go through the same process. I me card. Now obia betna ene catch Ghana for say card no ya printed we nanka ebia ya make say print me no me call that mama issue but I think it's unfortunate.
The danger is where so obi Ghana card na ontimi friend juma because
which is not true.
And
I'm saying that it's not true. He answered your question. Last Jerry, let me
1 minute.
Oh, Jerry, you will have time. You have time, Griffin.
Come on,
Jerry, man, time. Then he says that omu bibia na system I issue card first one the man na don't go fado no. That system no omu no ye bibia build here. Then all we did was to come and then get a card issued to him. That's not true. Do you recall the procurement processes in this country to get a company that would help the NIA to ensure that the card goes through a process to be developed? Okay, it's our procurement processes no. Okay. When they were allegations that Professor Tifa had the money company beer and away so the money company beer, then what warranted that procurement process again? All we did was to come and print a card. And this is for Muntio. And there was again a procurement process to get a company. And I heard there was some company from India and some company, whatever. People had come in. Do you remember that? And if that happened, what was that procurement process for?
I will answer that.
What was it for? So when we sit here, and then we seek to tickle ourselves and laugh, then say things. Because for 8 years, you couldn't produce a single card, which is a fact. You catch us one to
Okay, let me respond to that very quickly.
I think it's
I have to read
for me,
a couple of
the procurement process. So you want to know. I want to know why a procurement process.
No, I am saying there was.
And then the card issue
What was to enhance the same procurement. So I said,
I'm in Austria. I have my insurance card without fingerprints. Please don't lie, CJ. Tell the NDC man. And then Haruna Ibrahim says, what the NDC man is saying is true. No dispute on that. A friend of mine told me that when he was trying to register his SIM card with the Ghana card, he was told that his number is not in the system, meaning that his fingerprints haven't been initiated. So I think we should get some clarity from
very important.
If you can get NIA on the line.
I think we should get Ganiu on the line.
Yes.
And Pedu, so it's been a Ganiu, NIA,
please do that.
Get some clarity.
That is important.
On the line.
But before we also do that, let me say emphatically that there were cards. I'm not saying every card was issued without verification.
That is why I also said there could be issues.
No.
But I didn't say that.
There will be issues. They
didn't deliberately issue cards like
that. NIA took a policy decision, said almost skip that process, in order to get a lot of cards out in the hands of Ghanaians. That's the point I'm making. Me Ghana ni haya na mtia. Me fie Ghana haya. Me boa on mfam kokot. That's number one. I've made that point. I hope that will put it to rest. The procurement process, we had wanted to Mpacho. It's not a mistake. It was a policy decision. Say, on
the issue of procurement.
On the issue of procurement. Yeah. When we finished all these specifications, central system was in place and everything, which we accepted December of 2016. We had hoped to say, through the procurement process, there will be a situation where you don't have a vendor lock-in, where one vendor is doing all the... We had issues with the procurement. I really don't want to go into that because as a nation, we have moved beyond that. But let me mention a few of those things.
No, but let me mention a few. Since you were very integral, you were part of it, what were the issues?
More integral than... President Kufuor cards, issue the two-dimensional barcode card. Issue more than 10 million. What here now? Because Ghana almost old card nana a 2D barcode. Yes, we issued plenty.
But what were the issues with procurement when you were in government?
Well, let me mention just a few.
Compliance card.
Now, first of all, we wanted a situation where you would have, say, enrollment machine, and you need to creative vendor locking. That's number one. We wanted more companies to come on board to come and do it. For us to have gone to accept the central system means at least the central system was ready and gone. A central system will mean say the idea enrolling is specified that because samples crowd. The idea verification specified that a samples are present. So that's number one. Number two, we also had an issue with the PPP aspect of it. I just want to mention two. I don't want to go and open another because that's another serious area I don't want to go into. But let me
don't want to go into anything.
No.
Because
the PPP aspect, we had an issue with it. So, until when the company was claiming, say he's expanding the PPP and what have you, we said no.
The company.
We haven't. I don't want to put it. The company.
You don't want to go into it. He doesn't go into anything. I mean,
you see, because the reason why I'm saying that there are private companies and relationships involved. So I don't want to go and put somebody's company name there and say certain things that will. And I don't want to do that.
I get you.
The PPP aspect, we had an issue with it, and the reason why we had an issue with it is that we thought that a biometric database. It's a critical national security infrastructure. And therefore, for it to run on a PPP, we didn't want it that way. So, and therefore, there must be an open for companies. In fact, we had even engaged several companies, including one from Ukraine. There was an Indian company who had already spoken to us. I think the name was, is it 4G as a BB? That was the name of the company. I don't remember the name very well. There were a Serbian company who was also talking. A lot of companies have spoken to us and had given us quotations and what have you on how they can plug into the infrastructure. That is where I want to leave it. when the administration came, the initial idea was that they wanted to look at how to open it up, because the one that we were more or less working with, Kenyan IPRS system. I'm saying no, they don't want to deal with that particular company. You know, they want to open it up to allow other companies to bid for the various services that will come out of the system. We had no, of course, they are in power. You can't even have an objection to that. But I remember I wrote an article, if you remember, those days, criticizing a few things. You know, about how that process went.
Did you finalize the system?
Of course, it was finalized. We had a central system.
A properly so-called identification card.
And I make a say.
That's the question.
And I make a say. For no two line, so say.
I mean,
what did they add?
Yes,
what did they? What did they add to the system before
let's make progress.
Me say fine na yefo no to so no mo meka nkyere o man nyina say wo mo no e ba ye no omo ba ye no again no mo ye kan ho pacho on sa wo kasa me kan bio me kan bi misrawo o
na wo ye ka nyina ma so nkawe o so nko bebia
minia oh, at the end, woman, the count. That's how we catch us sending chrome yet because you are never ball. I shall dear. Between the January and September, you can't build a biometric system and issue a card. It's a fact. President Kufuor started in 2003. He started issuing cards in 2008. They make out here. And this how Petraka said, mobile na mo de magicians na mo issue first card September of 15 September 2017. Less than how many months? But less than 9 months.
9 months.
Less than 9 months. It is not true. It's not true. So the system existed before you came into power. And so when you are saying it, I give credit to those who did work on the system.
Hassan Swala saying. Working Tampo Hassan, good morning. Now there were some specifics behind the e-passport. Ghana card no, e-passport no.
Yes.
You have some concerns with it.
Yes, I have concerns. I have concerns. He's
an expert. He knows it's possible.
Oh, listen to him.
Okay. I will cut my brother some slack because he's not a technical person.
Yeah, I know.
But match him. Me too. And I like the fact say Dr. Bawumiaka say I engage yakel. It's good for the nation. So on the and I would also start with the positive. I will give them credit, say, and let me explain properly for people to understand. Say Ufri Russia Bagana. Now with a Russian passport. Now we need Ghana passport. We have visa and so on. Unless you can prove so we are Ghanaian. Into about Krum. This is not the first time Ghana buying akeo information a boami identify Ghanaian. The dual citizenship card. A paper card. Sa paper card no. So free Ghana eba. Na se minya photo wa ha me be kire.
O de kasa.
Wo free Ghana eba. Na se wo free Russia eba ukra Russian passport don't need visa. Wo de account passport ho a they consider you a Ghanaian. The Ghana card has been added to the identity documents that helps identify a Ghanaian. It does not replace a passport. You still need a passport to travel. If you have a Ghanaian passport, you don't need a Ghana card. If you don't have a Ghanaian passport, you have a foreign passport without a visa, then you must show. Either say ukuta dual citizenship card. And I say ukuta your friend say Ghana card. So it has nothing to do with the fact that it's a smart card. Any dual citizenship card in here. A green. Yes, you have Ghana dual citizenship. Okay. This card, which is a paper card, serves the same purpose. Serves the same purpose. I'm telling you. Now let me go into e-passport.
Good.
ICAO defines what an e-passport is. And here Dr. Bawumiaka defining. In ICAO document 9303, it states that it is a booklet. That's number one. It must have either 28 pages or 52 pages for a frequent traveler. 28 pages. No? Ghana card, you need 28 pages, physical pages. Good. It must have photo, full name, nationality, date of birth, place of birth, sex, date of issue, and expiration date. So, in addition to that physical, our first page, you know, it must have a chip with all this information on it and the biometric template of the photo for matching. That is e-passport. Now, who can't tell me, say, the mangrove tree dwells in a river and therefore it is a crocodile. Then you are telling lies to, excuse me to say, I don't want to say, then you are either being misinformed or you are misinforming the public. Now, I want to choose my words very carefully. So, I'm going to make you you see, you can say, Penny, control, name of the organization. And you're not correct. So, I'm going to make you now. The most the Ghana card can achieve is called a passport card. If I Google the difference between passport card and e-passport.
Okay, so I'm reading something on e-passports here. These are the basics. I say e-passports add a layer of security to traditional non-electronic passports by embedding an electronic chip in the passport booklet that stores the biographical information visible on page 2 of the passport.
Thank you. So it is a book. It is with a chip that adds an additional. It's what I mentioned. Now, then a card, Ghana card, I have one plastic, small plastic, ever than e-passport. It's not
possible.
It's not possible. It's not the case. Let me also tell you this.
It's not possible.
This is not. There's another document called the passport card. Listen to this carefully. The passport card. The passport card is a card which has this information on the surface of it. And there's a chip in it, an ICAO chip in it. That makes it a passport card. So let me check. That passport card is not accepted. Into the worst case scenario is that if you have put an ICAO chip on a Ghana card, it can behave like a passport card. So let me check. But let me also state for the record, say, throughout the world, no country, including Ghana, for air travel accepts the passport card as a replacement for the passport. No country in the world accepts that. When you take the passport card and you take sea and land travel, there are only 20 countries in the world that will accept it. 20 countries. Canada, Mexico, Bermuda, and 17 islands in the Caribbean. Trinidad and Tobago, Haiti,
no, but there are more than 100 states and non-state entities, i.e. United Nations, currently issuing e-passports and over 490 million e-passports in circulation. And no chance saying if
and America say you are talking about who is issuing, and you are talking about
the same way.
You are talking about who is issuing, and you are also talking about a friend say how many states are using it or what have you. The problem is not with who is using it. The problem is with the fact they say Ghana card number than e-passport, and once something can say here. It's not who is using it.
I don't know. It's possible.
It's not possible.
For these nations, these nations, how are they using it?
They are using their passport, traditional passport. They cheap. Read the baby or defining e-passport. No, but so that I put my listing in context.
E-passports add a layer of security to traditional non-electronic passport. Okay, so the e-passport, is adding a layer to book.
So it is a passport with a chip in it. They're making an e-passport. The book, So the book, the definition of e-passport.
My card will make Kofi Ampedu. Obusam said we Ghana card.
You see, a Koba say, Siakase, Ubiko 197 countries. Na Ghana web story chrome picky chrome say no cry. Say 197 countries now. Ghana card has become e-passport can be used to travel to these destinations. It's not true. First of all,
Jerry,
I don't think the man himself, a friend say, the wedding of the the replacement of Ghana card with e-passport was a mistake. Let's accept that. It's not an e-passport.
Jerry.
Jerry. Opa, Google the difference between e-passport and passport.
I'm getting something here.
Unim say,
I'm getting something here.
or light is some of fear. You don't need to walk to the vendor to buy light. Unim say. Do you know it exists?
I know.
In Ghana now? Eh? Under Nana Addo Akufo-Addo. Do you know it exists? Okay? You know that. I want to say, sir, and now Unim say, no, Unim say,
politicians.
Oh, why is that about politicians? I am only telling you, sir. Listen, I'm saying that. Oh, that's going to be only for you. No, I'm coming to e-passport. Don't worry. But besides Jerry say, and but what you want features of the card?
No.
No, I get it.
Hold it. Oh, and until master down, I'm my producer director.
Because I still have my time.
Okay, good.
And I'm saying that I asked a simple question, and I wouldn't say. Under Nana Akufo-Addo, or light is time be anytime you want. Wait, Martin, if you hold the old person, now at light, now light as well. That is what we talk, or we say the digital revolution is indeed working in our era. Nnawotwi, I have made reference to the fact that se wa pomo din kra sebi bibi ha o kakra na se o pese o ko siki health services are. With all respect, so card that we could talk about health insurance, which all of it we are integrating into Ghana Garden, you will be able to sit down at the comfort of your home and then change it and then make sure say on your health. I'm saying that Zipline, look at how Zipline to transport, if you like, essential health needs from one destination to another destination using digitalization or using digitization. Okay,
but
for me, the mechanic say.
But this is an IT.
I know. Mr. Griffith. We also have, everybody has IT expert. We also have Eric. Eric is his very good friend. Eric Ntore is
a very good friend of mine.
He's a very good friend. I know Eric Ntore is a very good friend.
He's a very good friend.
And I'm saying that we also have But see, I'm saying that there are positives of what we have done. And you are not opening up those positives. All shall say on this e-passport matter. Or say, look, I can an example, my ICA owner or my example.
I commended your government for that.
Very good. I
commended your government.
Said the initiation alone to get us to be part of it, no, a very good move.
Very good.
And of course, he goes further to explain what he thinks, in his view, e-passport is by the definition of what is on ICAO's website. But see, he knows very well that digitalization is dynamic. On him, he knows very well, say, it is very dynamic. Today, you may be talking about 28 booklets. Tomorrow, the next moment, I am telling you, digital revolution, you know how it works. Quickly, another concept comes in to say that it's not even more 20 pages, it's going to be maybe a single card, as it were. It is not impossible. Once we are able to have that card management system on our card now, and we are able to synchronize it with other platforms, I think, say, of course, usage of a card to liken to your friends say e-passport, will not be out of place when a conversation is supposed to be done. We have not said we are there yet. We have not said, say, oh, sorry, yeah, and there. And this is for some propaganda. I saw the video. The video is all out there. Say, Dr. Bawuya say, card, I know, I said, sorry, no, US. Card, sorry, no, Canada. That is not what Dr. Bawuya. I saw your video.
Come on, Dean. What Osir Kwame is saying is that it's not possible. It is not possible. Say Ghana card yes, you see you cram in hey. It is not possible. Say yeah, the e-passport be then ebe kan anameboa. It can never be seen.
Just like he said in his speech, emphatically say it has become e-passport.
I am not surprised that is coming from the friend saying Griffith and Co. Only for them anything good that ever Ghana be is not possible.
Oh.
I'm telling you, and I'll give examples. Series of them. Anything Ghana card they kuta ukrano. Ye kase yebe issue Ghana card abwa amma Ghana card bano. They said they would not attest to what and support.
No. We had other issues.
And that they were having
not the issues of Ghana card.
It took the but it was not going to work.
On my screen here.
Yes.
It's a specimen of an electronic passport. I think China.
Yes.
I don't know. So
I'm very familiar with electronic passport.
Okay.
You don't need to. I don't need to see it.
So see if you see the features on this one, on this very e-passport here.
Where you see that, can I even see it? And
No, I don't need to see it.
Okay, very good.
I am very familiar. What I'm saying is that when you take ICAO document 9303, it defines e-passport. I don't know whether people miss that point.
No, my point is, me share Ghana card here kura me issue.
Yes.
Features are a was no. Ebia na wo China dey that TV see.
Which is the e-passport.
The passport.
Very good.
So what stops us from also using our card as an electronic passport?
Dynamic on TSA no. On Tintina no here ni say 28 pages. 28 pages dey here no.
The reason why it is not a passport is that
can you see what is on the screen?
I know, I am familiar with, I have seen.
But this is not 28 pages, that's a 1 page.
That is not a friend say an electronic passport. It is an information page.
But the man,
come on, Dean.
This is the information page of a passport. It's not a passport itself.
The executive secretary to the vice president, Ura Augustine Blay, as also after into the program. But so clarify BB on the e-passport. Rable Utemenka. Hello, Rable.
Yes, CJ.
Yeah. But now over so can be kakra. Come on, I to train. I say I make e-passport no. So yenti Rable.
Yo, me da say. Na se me try say kakra. You Griffin explaining e-passport. Or focusing on passport as a book.
Absolutely.
But e-passport no e no gina how man bibi.
Electronic.
E no gina how man digital.
And electronic.
In society digital no try say. Say o de o passport no e machine mu a.
Yes.
Our airport I say machine it making kind passport no. In chip no na information go so. And sa chip chrono ultimately go document biya so according to a standard. It is also and you can on the card or this chip no according to ICAO standard no I share or card no Netherlands or a national identity card no was chip no in compliance with ICAO travel with it.
Okay.
Albania or chip no in compliance with ICAO multi 2 coin.
Okay.
Brazil was chip no card no multi 2 coin. US or more passport card. But our chip is not in compliance with ICAO. So So the focus of the e-passport and yet book a manual, a paper. That is not e.
Okay.
That's how that's how passports are. So to move into the digitization era, the ICAO say put your information on a chip, and because you travel with your passport, masa chip and share passport by Yangana no. Chip on a passport, but as far as the Ghana card is concerned, the chip on the Ghana card to meet the ICAO international standard.
Okay,
it does. That's simple.
It's not possible.
It took from one area to another. It has nothing to do with visa. Just the card is in compliance with the ICAO. It means to coin based on the standard.
Okay, it's only a reference in Yagi because I say it is not possible.
What is not possible?
That is possible. What I just told you.
ICAO na ye refer no. ICAO na ye international organization, and ye Ghanaian organization. And ye NIA organization.
Yes.
An international organization, sir. So who took coin from one airport to another? Omun verify document biya. Sa ICAO na nkasa say, omo hwehwe ye Ghana card ni mu. The same ICAO will say, or more information you do your Ghana card. So the same ICAO will say, or more Giatum, the same ICAO will say, or more the information will go machines. In say the Ghana card no for airport. ICAO no more can kind information or passport. And say ICAO will say, but marking kind.
Okay.
And say ICAO no the human so baking kind. I approve so between the copper airport to airport. Now you gonna say you're possible. The one you say
okay.
Mpacho, I'm say a seminal conversation. A cough baby.
What?
I care no International Civil Association Organization.
Aviation
Aviation
organization.
organization.
Yes, they define what e-passport is. Mpachomba.
Come on, Mebacho, OTA,
Okay.
They define what e-passport is. And in the standards which is used, is called ICAO document 9303. It defines e-passport as a book.
Okay.
Mebo, mpacho. That has a chip in it. And that chip contains the same information on the information page and also the biometric of the photo. There's another document called the passport card. And if your producers can Google difference between e-passport and passport card. Another document will surface. And only a plastic card. And as a plastic card, no, I was this ICAO chip here. I was to say the Ghana DIA accept your friend passport card. But let me tell you why there's an issue.
Oh, you spend it.
First of all, the passport, the passport card.
Mr. Blaze on the line.
Blaze said is what
He's on the line. So
the passport card, which the NIA card, if there are information with it, ICAO will accept as being a passport card and not an e-passport. For air travel, there is nowhere in the world where they accept it as a substitute to and I want your producer to Google difference between e-passport and passport card.
okay, there's a sample of passport card on my screen now.
Okay, very good.
There's an example of United States of America passport card.
Yes. In addition to this, they also have e-passport. In addition to the passport card, they also have e-passport. Now, the passport card for air travel, no country in the world accepts it as a substitute to passport for you to enter. No country in the world accepts
it. They are different things. E-passport is different from passport card.
I understand that.
That's a different
passport card, which the NIA card accepts. Let me offer this information because it's very important.
Respond quickly.
He's saying, with all respect to my brother, he's repeating what Billy said.
Affair number 2. When you take air and sea travel, there are only 20 countries in the world. If this is not a friend's brain surgery, and I've mentioned the names of the countries. So how are you saying, sir, 197 countries? What you have done and you have achieved is that just like I show you the dual citizen card, it identifies a Ghanaian. If you are about to come, not to put a visa over the back. That is all.
Yes, inti ora Griffith confusion yema. Passport card. Chip now. It's not in compliance with ICAO. And until na won't be in fact 2 coins. American passport card, but Netherlands card, identity card, just like ours identity card, no. Almost cheaper is in compliance with ICAO.
The same language, the same thing. I don't see the difference.
All right. That's the language.
It's not the same thing.
It's not in compliance. So you should not use it. I'm an example.
To the president, vice president.
Machine to making kind. Ghana card no. Machine